Again, it's Cook. It's a room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. We'll give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They run. Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. Spinning away. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Try to run it in with Murray. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now Forbath for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. So out now come the Lions. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They run again on first down. Cook got some real estate inside the 30. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And it is now 21-0. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. But under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him. Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him. No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Get ready. They start the drive with Cook. And an alley to run. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off. Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2. Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends. Good point. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And that'll make it third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now it's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Taken in at the 11. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The throw inside, complete to Treadwell. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. On the ground, it's Cook. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90.
Now they'll run. Murray. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Forbath will put this one through, and they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here come the Lions now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They go with Abdullah again. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Here's Riddick, and he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't, and this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Taken in at the 22. We return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. On the carry, it's Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. A fumble lost last week. Now a fumble lost this week. Is this just growing pains of a rookie?
It is growing pains, but they can't afford them. Not him nor his team. That means extra work during the week with his coaching staff and extra work on his head to make sure he doesn't lose his confidence. They like him. They want him to flourish.
Because you know he wants to avoid that label of being a fumble machine.
It is a label that is hard to shed, and that just means teams come after you even more, ripping and raking at the football when you're carrying it.
Abdullah, and he's got room. And he's brought down after a good gain. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Any team that successfully runs a toss play cannot do it with an offensive line that can't move. You've got to have mobile players, especially those tackles, who can move laterally and seal the edge in order for the back to get upfield.
Now Stafford. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Ten yards still left on second down.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. Here we go. All day.
Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Lions on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Forbath out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Shift together here from the D-line. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken around the 12. Oh, nice move. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Stafford. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. A give. This is Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.